Hello everyone. Join us on an exciting journey with Explore the World Cameroon. London and Sydney go take you explore Cameroon, the heart of Africa. Experience the vibrant culture, nature, and traditions from Yaoundé market to rainforest adventures. Every page na new discovery. Join the Cameroonian food, music, and wildlife with our explorers. This book na true celebration of Cameroon spirit. Get your copy now. Available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and through your library and bookstores via Ingram's Park. Don't miss this adventure.
Finding the right real estate professional can be challenging. I'm broker Melissa Wilson. I'm knowledgeable in all aspects of the real estate process. So whether you're looking to buy new or an existing home or have a commercial need, I'm here to help.
What's going on, fam? This is Jay Cameron inviting you to join us in Ethiopia next March 2025. And this is going to be an iconic trip that you don't want to miss, a trip of a lifetime. We're going to be visiting Addis Ababa, Gondor, Lalibela. You'll have a chance to taste the amazing Ethiopian food. You'll also have a chance to visit the Rastafarian community. You'll get the history, you'll get the fashion, you'll have an opportunity to shop. It's going to be a trip, an experience of a lifetime. So make sure you sign up to join us in Ethiopia, March 2025.
Make sure you pick up my two books that's in Amazon right now. The first one is Passive Aggressive Racism and the System of White Supremacy. And I talk about in that particular book how the system of white supremacy really runs and on our daily lives here in America. In our latest book, 7 Steps to Decolonize the Mind, we go through those steps to try to deprogram you from the system of white supremacy. Make sure you can pick up those books on Amazon.com.
Introducing the African Diaspora News Channel app, your gateway to stories that's overlooked by the corporate mainstream media.
At African Diaspora News Channel, we cover stories that don't receive mainstream attention, and we serve as the voice to the global Black community. We are committed to informing and educating through the power of media, connecting the African diaspora one story at a time.
With our platform, we're helping to end injustice by exposing it.
Join us in standing for excellence in journalism and serving our community. Download the African Diaspora News app today.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are in the building. We are in the building. We are in the building. About to wrap this month up. That's good. That's good. We're about to wrap this month up. And it's starting to get crunch time for Vice President Kamala Harris. It's getting crunch time because she don't have very long to get out there and do her thing. You know, you can only do so many concerts. I can't wait till that debate that's coming up September 10th. I would definitely got to watch that one. That's going to be good to watch. Yeah, so tomorrow is Friday, and that'll be all good. Of course, you know, Saturday, we will stream on Saturday at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. Last Saturday we didn't stream, but we're going to stream this Saturday, just to let you know that. Also, other announcements. So I put on the community tab about the channel we had called The Black Congregation, but we changed that name because it's a certain direction I'm going with that particular channel. We changed, and I'll show you the channel itself just so you can see what I'm talking about. Some people are like, man, you had another channel? Because, you know, sometimes y'all don't keep up, and it happens, right? So this is the other channel right here. We changed it to Emancipation Media. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not changing it no more. That's it. Just like African Diaspora, that's the name. It's not changing, right? So, you know, Sister Demetra is there. You know, I'm there, and then you got also Sister Alexandria is there, And, you just kind of go through, the channel here. But make sure you come subscribe to this one as well. I do my short, I would say short, but news reports here. The streams from me, at least, is going to be on African Diaspora unless I choose to do something over here. So we will be, slowly building a team on this particular channel, just like we're building one here on African Diaspora. So, as time go along, we'll build it up just like we do anything else. So make sure you subscribe to the Emancipation Media channel, because sometimes you may say, did y'all cover that? Well, did you go check the other channel? Because sometimes we're covering things that we didn't cover here. So make sure you go ahead and do that. Emancipation is a good word. Emancipation applies to us, and that's what that channel is about. It's applying to us. All right. So the freedmen, right? That is a designation that was given to us as well by the federal government, freedmen. And to get around people like Edward Bloom and all these other people that would like to sue when we try to do something for our people, you start saying that I am doing a scholarship for freedmen. That's who you're doing it for, right? For the freedmen. You had the Freedmen's Bureau, the Freedmen's Bank. That is a federal designation. It has nothing to do with race. It has something to do with a particular lineage of people. If you want to do, hold on, I don't know who's texting me right now. Wow, or somebody's texting me. Now, see, my little girl, I tell you what, she makes me laugh sometimes. All right, so with that being said, just a few announcements. The Ethiopia trip, I was still getting emails about that. We'll, September 1, we'll stop, kind of promoting that. It's already sold out. So, we say we'll promote it until the 1st. And that's it. If you're already going, make your payments, keep up with that. As y'all sending me, hey, where can I sign up? I pay today. I seen the link. You can handle what you want to handle and just go from there. All right. So make sure of that. Also, the African Diaspora News Channel app, you can download that in the Google Play and Apple App Store. The reason why that's important is because that is our support outside of social media platforms. It's the current support. We're trying to get our app to 10,000 members. That's all we need is 10,000. And at 10,000, we can really do, some things that we need to do. We won't have to worry about these platforms. I mean, we'll still do free stuff, but we can do a lot more over there, because the goal is, especially, as we creeping up into next year, is to feature a whole lot of stuff. I got some plugs on some people, like definitely one Nollywood director want to start licensing content to us, movies, things like that. Certain shows that we're going to create over there as well, so we don't have to worry about censorship. Certain documentaries we're going to work on, but all that takes funding. And we're not doing a GoFundMe or nothing. But if 10,000 people join our app, we don't need a GoFundMe. We don't need it. We just need to have that steady support, and that's it. So appreciate everybody who has supported. May God bless you for supporting. May God bless you way more than what you're giving for that. All right. So tonight we're going to talk about a couple of things tonight. We have a Venezuelan gang problem now. We're going to talk about, show a few executive orders that the moment Biden got into office, he caused the problem. And we'll look at those executive orders before we get into the issue with the Venezuelan gang and how they are creating terror all over the United States of America. And it is the fault of the Biden-Harris, make sure I say that specifically, the Biden-Harris administration with their open border policies that has harmed everybody. Okay? So with that being said, Super Mayor, I found a new little clip I love from Super Mayor. I just couldn't clip it in time. I'll work on clipping that probably tomorrow morning or something like that. But she had some more stuff to say that had me like, oh my God, this woman here. So let's go ahead and get to our devotional today. And let me see. Hold on. Who I haven't done. Yeah. Hold on. I ain't done him this week. Hold on. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead on and get to Reverend Al.
I have the courage to denounce a black bigot. I think Roy Ellis is no good, and I denounce him.
Yeah, that's a lot of crap. Now, look, brother, you have your time. That's a lot of crap. Brother, hell no. Hell no.
Count indictment in Manhattan that accuses him of diverting hundreds of thousands of dollars to his personal use after using fraud, grand larceny, and false business records to solicit funds from such diverse contributors as Don King, the boxing promoter, and Don Trump, the billionaire. Sharpton will be arraigned on state income tax charges later in Albany. In Manhattan Supreme Court, Reverend Sharpton was formally accused of taking in more than $250,000 for his national youth movement. The money allegedly was donated over a 3-year period to support youth programs, but State Attorney General Robert Abrams says lots of that cash went into Al Sharpton's pockets.
About all the charges, they say stole money. Same charges that Dr. King had, same charges gone. Where's all of the mob money? Where's the tickets go? This is disappointing. I thought we could do better. What about not filing for taxes? Every now and then. Black people don't owe no taxes. We ain't got no rights. They like my hair.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, and there's some more scenes that I'm gonna want to add to the Al Sharpton footage that I have been kind of coming up on. So the Al Sharpton footage probably going to start extending, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so as you all know, class is in session. Get ready to learn. Get ready to participate. Democrat Shields, I know you're here. Welcome to the Shields. I know this is what y'all want to do.
Have you come to destroy me?
Yeah, I know that's what y'all want to do, but we're gonna teach you something today that you could take back to the DNC, okay? That's what we're gonna do. So the first thing we need to talk about, though, before we get started, especially for the Democrat Shields, we got to make sure we do this for them because they're very important. When they come here, let me go ahead and get to where I'm at. All right, Democrat Shields. Make sure you go to vote.gov. Vote.gov is a official website of the United States government. Now, why are we going to vote.gov? We are telling people to get registered to vote. We want all our subscribers, our friends and family to get registered to vote. Of course, we want our alive friends and family to get registered to vote. Not no one who has deceased or people who aren't legal to vote. But we want people who is definitely eligible to register to vote and participate in this election, Democrat Shields. That's including you. And you need to update your information and registration if you need to, right? So it's very simple, Democrat Shields. All you have to do is just click right here, register to vote, find your state. It's very easy. I just go down to my state, Texas, and then they just point you to the right direction. Talking about the deadlines to register by mail, October 7th, in person. You can check your registration, whatever state that you're in. You can make sure to register to vote. So go to vote.gov, ladies and gentlemen, vote.gov. No, the government isn't paying me to promote this. But I'm doing this just especially for the Democrat Shields because, we want to make sure that they're educated on knowing how to register to vote. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now we have done, that work right there. Let me go to my other screen. All right. So, the Democrat Shields say that, Biden and Kamala there, they didn't create the migrant crisis. That's not true. You guys are putting out misinformation, which is always lies from them. They never show. So this comes from the Center of Migration Studies, President Biden's executive actions on immigration. Now, this is dated February the 2nd, 2021. Okay. And look, that's your favorite vice president standing right there with her COVID mask on. And here they talk about how he set forth an ambitious immigration agenda in the early days of the Biden-Harris administration. Make sure you see the important name on the screen, Harris. Committing both to reverse harmful policies implemented by the Trump administration and revitalize the U.S. immigration system more broadly in his first 100 days in office. President Biden articulated his immigration and refugee protection goals and reversed many of his predecessors' policies in a series of executive actions. Okay? He raised the cap. Look at this right here. He raised the cap, raised the refugee admissions cap for fiscal year 2021 and endorsed the U.S. Citizenship Act of 2021. It said, and it would represent the most sweeping immigration reform legislation. Okay, we can keep talking. Now let's go down to this is all the executive orders that he, was a part of, right? Now let's go down to the first one. Now, Shields, you paying attention? So on the proclamation of ending discriminatory bans on entry to the United States, he did that day one. After he got in, he did this, okay? Now, this proclamation lifts certain restrictions on immigrant visas from nationals of Burma, Eritrea, Iran, Venezuela. See, when Trump was in office, he didn't let them in here. Kyrgyzstan, Libya, North Korea, Somalia. Hey, you know how some of these people be on X? There's been some of the Somalis that have a lot of anti-Black American sentiment. Not all, but some of them do. Well, Trump wasn't letting them in here. Sudan, Syria, Tanzania, and Yemen. Now, they said at that time, it said U.S. embassies and consulates in those countries can resume visa processing and must ensure that pending visa and waiver applications are not prejudiced by the previous bans. Okay, so this is day one. So when you talk about what started the migrant crisis, what started it, immediately he got it going. Day one. Okay, day one. Don't you let these Democrats lie to you and say they had nothing to do with the migrant crisis. Okay. They said initial travel ban suspended issuance of visas to nationals from all those nations, Iraq, Sudan, Syria, Libya, Somalia, and Yemen for 90 days. The ban drew sharp criticism because it targeted Muslim majority countries and led to protests, airports, etc. Okay, now what's the next one? Executive order on the revision of civil immigration enforcement policies and priorities. That's day one as well, ladies and gentlemen. So this order revised immigration enforcement policies and priorities and rescinded the Trump administration executive order 13768, which called for prompt removal of all undocumented immigrants living in the United States and withdrew federal funding from so-called sanctuary cities. Biden's executive order directs relevant federal agencies to issue new guidance about immigration enforcement priorities. Now that's two orders right there that Biden did on day one. We ain't really got to all of them yet. This is day one. So he removes the ban and then he sits here and basically stop the deportation of the people that was here. All right. So that's how the zone started getting flooded. Now, they say the former administration prioritized removal of immigrants convicted of serious crimes, those who threaten national security, and recent border entrants. They say on 2019 analysis of the Transactional Records Access Clearinghouse at Syracuse University on Trump area enforcement found that despite rising numbers of individuals detained by ICE, few and few individuals who committed and been convicted of serious crimes are among them. The Trump administration enforcement policies were so broad that effectively set no priorities at all. Okay, so they said they came at enormous cost to mixed status families, those who documented U.S. citizens. They say using data from the Center for Migration Studies, the Marshall Project report estimated 909,000 mixed status families will face financial hardship and risk and fall into poverty if the undocumented breadwinners were deported. And the cost of deportation of families include financial hardship and the trauma of their separation and division. Okay, so we just kind of looking at this, going through all of that. But basically, this executive order is what I want to point out. Stop the removals. Okay. Now it says preserving basically DACA, and that's what the DACA program is. That was established back in 2012. And the program has more than 600,000 active recipients who are deeply ingrained in U.S. communities, enjoy long-standing connections to the United States. So he's protecting DACA here. This one here, proclamation on termination of emergency with respect to the southern border of the United States and redirection of funds diverted to the border wall construction. Day one, he stopped the border wall. Okay, this is day one. As soon as he got in office, he stopped the construction of the border wall. So when y'all talk about what they built this wall and they got big holes in it, this dude is the one that stopped it. This is day one. Day one. Okay? So they said Biden halted the construction of the wall along the U.S.-Mexico border and stated that funds for the border wall construction will be reallocated following a review of construction contracts. And saying April 2021, Department of Defense announced it's coordinating with interagency partners to cancel border wall projects and contracts. Now, they say Trump said he basically would say he'll make Mexico pay for the wall and say, but however, this did not work. And according to wall costs, American taxpayers $15 billion. Moreover, the disagreement between Congress and administration over funding for the wall triggered the longest government shutdown in U.S. history. So basically, he shut down the wall. This executive order also, day one, he wanted everybody counted on the census, which, I think everybody should be counted. Memorandum reinstating deferred enforcement departure for Liberians. So he did that for them through June 30, 2022. Just letting you know what he did just kind of like on day one. It gave him TPS. The U.S. Citizenship Act, Biden endorsed the U.S. Citizenship Act of 2021, memorializing his commitment to modernize the U.S. immigration system. And you can see kind of that. He wanted to provide an eight-year pathway to citizenship for 11 million undocumented people. And you see reduced residence requirements for naturalization from 5 years to 3 years, which no country does that. Make non-citizens in the U.S. as children, including DACA recipients eligible for lawful permanent residence. I mean, he just went in here just doing everything with change the word alien to non-citizen in all immigration laws. I mean, you can just kind of just go through this, provide immigration relief for permanent LGBTQ couples that cannot get married in their jurisdictions. Permanent partners will be considered equal to a married couple. Children of an immigrant permanent partners will be eligible for immigration relief. So he got the LGBT. I mean, remember all day one. This is what he's doing. Immigration, LGBT, migrant protection protocols. All this is day one. Remember, this is the date, January 20, 2021. Okay? They say DHS now suspending the migrant protection protocols. It's effective January 21. It's a MPP, also known as Remain in Mexico policy. So when you talk about that Remain in Mexico policy, where they wasn't coming over here because they had to stay in Mexico, this is Biden doing this day one. I want y'all to see this. Day one, he suspended Remain in Mexico. He said it was established by the Trump administration in January 2019. It allowed border officers to send non-Mexicans who sought asylum in the U.S. southern border to await their immigration hearings. Prior to the MPP, asylum seekers were able to wait for their hearings in the United States. It said over 67,000 migrants have been subjected to the program. It said, and many are still waiting for their hearings in camps along the southern border. Under DHS announcement, no new individuals will be enrolled in the program. Okay? So when he got rid of Remain in Mexico, that also flooded the zone. Now, this is what executive order on the 25th, 5 days he's just in office. He reinstated COVID-19 travel restrictions on most non-citizens travel, which that's that. Reunification of families, that's February the 2nd. Restoring faith in our legal immigration. Everything's just immigration, immigration, immigration. So now, remember, look who's up here with it. That is when you vote for her, that's an extension, and she's already talking about immigration, immigration, immigration. Immigration does not benefit the U.S. Citizen, right? It definitely don't, because they're taking away resources. Now, we just want to give you just a preface, okay, Democrat Shields? So you need to go back to the drawing board, and you need to try to lie and explain how your president and vice president start opening up the floodgates. When you hear me say an open border policy, that's what I'm talking about. He got in immediately and just basically swung open the border. And because they swung open the border and they let anybody over here, they didn't check these people at all. They didn't know there was gang members. They didn't know whoever. They said, oh, I just want to work. I would need asylum. And say, come on, just rushing them through. Now we got a problem. What's our problem? We're going to go through some crimes that they are committing that is quite eye-opening. they're forming gangs or have a gang over here. So let's look at one story so far that's really kind of shocking.
A group of migrants tried to board a school bus this morning while it was traveling to a school. The superintendent for the Humul del Zura Union School District informed parents of that incident earlier today. It happened at one of the stops on the school district's bus route that heads to Oak Grove Middle School and Humul Primary. Meanwhile, yesterday afternoon, in a similar area along another route, the superintendent says that a group of migrants tried to stop another bus. Border Patrol, CHP, and the sheriff's office have now been informed of these incidents. The superintendent says that for the safety of everyone, if a driver sees a group of migrants at a bus stop, they will drive past it and move on to the next.
The city of...
Okay, so the migrants was trying to basically commandeer a school bus full of children. This is what they're doing. And and from what I've seen, it's a bunch of the males. They're military-age males. They're young, and they're out here looking to do God knows what. Some of them are looking to do straight crimes. This happened out there in California, okay? So, Democrat Shields, when you lie and say immigration doesn't hurt nobody, you guys are being anti-immigration. Nobody's anti-immigration. We're for legal immigration. I'm pro-legal immigration, but I'm anti-open borders. I'm anti not checking people out and see who they are. Do they got criminal records? Who they got? What they got going on? What's their medical status? Do they have any communicable diseases? What do they got going on? Because we don't need another pandemic, right? And yet you're letting in all this crime that's going on in this country. How could any of you, I'm talking about just in general, sit up here and say, you know what, I'm going to go vote for Vice President Kamala Harris because do you want more of that? Do you want more military-age males coming to this country, going to a city near you? Do you want that? You go vote for Vice President Kamala Harris. That is a policy of the Democrat Party. Remember, we just covered this, ladies and gentlemen. Day one, they start removing shut down the border wall, got rid of Remain in Mexico. The Venezuelans couldn't even come over here during Trump. And that's the people that's coming over here doing the things they got no business. The ones that was on the travel ban. It's a reason that he did that, right? Put their name on there. But vote blue no matter who until they got your kids hostage on a bus. Then you're going to be crying. California, all that Democrat supermajority you got over there. Then y'all voting for them to get homes while you got American citizens. Not a person should be on Skid Row if they getting homes. But I guarantee you Skid Row will still have people there while the migrants will be laid up in homes in California. And I don't see how y'all keep voting for that. How? This is your tax dollars. That should be criminal, in my opinion. It should be criminal to spend taxpayer funds on that issue. It should be criminal. Now, a private company, a private organization wants to do what they want to do with their private funds. That's their business. We're talking about taxpayer money. How is that even legal? I believe a law need to be passed that says you cannot use no taxpayer funding toward anything outside of the American citizen and the American people. You cannot fund these programs. No. Because you incentivize people to keep coming. And why? So now do you understand why the zone got flooded? On top of that, Biden was flying in 30,000 of them a month. On top of all of that, what he was doing during his presidency in the Biden-Harris administration. This all things you can go look up yourself. You don't have to take my word for it. Go look it up. So tell me, do you want 4 more years of that? Let's continue to look at more things that is going on because this is the result of the open border policy of the Biden-Harris administration that you Democrat Shields are trying to come tell me about, right? Let's get back to something you Shields can see. Hold on, Shields. I know you're here.
Aurora says it's closing this apartment complex near Colfax and Peoria due to a long list of code violations going back years.
We are not buying this.
Aurora City Councilwoman Danielle Jurinsky and some of her colleagues believe there's more to the story.
We believe that, yes, there are coding violations, but this started because of a gang takeover. That's what we believe.
The company that manages the site says the same thing, that a gang from Venezuela had taken over the property, making it too dangerous for their staff to be there. Aurora police have not said whether those claims are true, but say they are investigating.
I know it's been shootings here, but it's not because of people from here. It's people from other places that comes here.
And I'll get to that footage just now. That's something that just came out, what you saw on the screen. So this lady saying that the people, that the crimes are not happening with the residents of Aurora, Colorado. It's happening with the migrants. But once again, that is a result of the Biden-Harris administration. You understand? Their open border policy that's causing people being thrown out of their apartment, taking over apartments. They know how to get around the squatter laws. And I don't know why squatter laws even exist. That should never exist. They learn how to get around the squatter laws. They're commandeering buildings. They commandeering homes, all kind of things that what they're doing, right? So Democrat Shields, you tell me I should go out and vote in November for more of what you just saw on the screen? That's what I'm supposed to go out and vote for. More of that. I'm sorry that when it comes, and I said this, and I will openly say this, when it comes to the immigration issue, I trust Trump on that one. I give Trump all day on that one. Yep, Trump. I say that openly. Trump is the one I will say, but you got to make a choice, it'll be Trump. Because Trump going to get him on out of here. Now, I'm curious to see how he going to do it. But, hey, do you want more of that? That's the thing. When you go vote in November, you got a choice to make. Do you want more of what you see on the screen? Let's continue. And remember, these people was not here because Trump kept them out of here. Biden is the one that got rid of it and say, come on, flood the zone. And now this is what the American people are dealing with. Let's check this out. This is new footage. And they got, look all the guns they have. And they just going, look at them. Now, before we play this next one, so, and I keep saying this, you keep letting all these males over here. And I'm trying to figure out the logic in that, a bunch of males, because if it had to be me talking about asylum, I'm like, women and small children, not even teenage boys, women and small children. The reason why I say women and small children are elderly people, because they the one need help. They defenseless. You're a grown doggone man. Stay in your homeland and fight. Go build your homeland up. You should be running from anywhere. And there's plenty of people in Venezuela right now that didn't run from their homeland. There's black folks, there's black Venezuelans down there. You don't see them running up here. Because I keep saying that. It's quite interesting that you never see the black Latinos coming up here. You never see them. Why is that? I think that's a coordinated plan. Now, people have said that Maduro down there is emptying out his prisons and sending them up here. Because there's a lot of them people in prison up there. It makes sense of what they're doing here, right? But vote blue no matter who. Vote blue if you want more of that. It's just that simple. And listen, they're getting your tax dollars, and they're sitting up here. Some of them dress better than some of you. They walk around with phones and all kind of things they have. But you struggling to pay your rent. You struggling for food. You struggling to pay, the insurance cost and all kind of things you're struggling with. But they got time to run around all day to doing what they're doing because they're not working jobs. Why don't you put their behind out there in the field somewhere and work them all day? Make them do that. Now let's go to another. Now this particular video. Let me pause this so I can cue this up. So this individual on the screen right here, he was actually arrested for a crime in Chicago. He left Chicago, went down to Denver, got with his, thugs here, right? And now they go and rob a jewelry store. Yeah, let's cue this up.
Pulled guns. They had white gloves, and they were all loading their guns. He grabbed her by her hair, pulled her up the stairs, and told her not to move or he was gonna kill her. And while he had her face down to the floor, he yanked all of her personal jewelry off. Everything, they just sort of started putting it in backpacks and duffel bags. She felt like they were gonna kill her after they hit her 3 times with the gun in her head. And she, one of the times, tried to move to push the panic button. And they told her that if she moved at all once more, that they were gonna kill her and they were gonna kill my cousin. It's organized crime and their accent is from Venezuela. This is very traumatizing. Sí, tengo mucho miedo. Yes, I'm very scared, and mostly for our kids.
Okay, all right. So they're robbing gun stores. They're robbing jewelry stores. I saw one person in the chat talking about Venezuelans are mostly good-hearted people. There's good-hearted people all over the world. But that's not the point of the conversation. Good-hearted people, we're not talking about them. We're talking about Venezuelan criminals, Venezuelan gang members who have entered our country when they shouldn't have never been able to enter our country because Trump was keeping them on out of here. You understand? So can you explain how all that you saw helps Black America? Because, you do have some Black people that's toting this line about, and once again, I'm going to repeat this again. It's not the African immigrants that's doing this type of stuff. I want y'all to know that. It's not even the Caribbean immigrants that's out here doing these sort of things and terrorizing people. It's not the Black immigrants. It's not. It's the ones that's coming from places like Venezuela and other places. They have gangs. So now, even if the Biden-Harris administration, even if they're gone, we're as a country still going to be dealing with this for a long time. Because if Kamala isn't voted in, Kamala going to be good. She's fine. She's going to go, I guess, back to California or wherever she lives and relax her nerves. And she don't have to deal with the migrants because she's going to be behind gates. She's going to be behind walls. Now, the DNC, they had a wall. They had a complete fenced-in wall protecting them at the DNC. But Biden got in and shut down the border wall. So you can't protect the country with a border wall, but you can protect the DNC with a wall. Make that make sense. And yeah, El Salvador, now shout out to the president over there. He handled that problem. Man, y'all need to look at the documentaries about that prison he built over there and how he cracked down on them. Oh, he's not having them problems no more out of them gangs. He's not. Boy, he got them so locked down, they can't, man. Y'all really need to watch the documentaries about that prison he built over there. Because the gangs was running El Salvador before he got in there. What was it, Bukele is his name? Yeah, he running it right. But how all this benefits Black America, that's always I'm coming back to. How does this benefit Black America? We talk about reparations, and the government is spending over $460 billion a year on immigration. But yet, they can't even spend 10 to 15 billion for a wall, and they definitely can't even spend $100 billion a year on reparations till you at least get to $1 trillion, $2 trillion, right? You're going to spend more money, and they have spent more money, on the migrant crisis. That is a Biden-Harris administration creation. Right? No, they didn't create the immigration issue, but they made sure to make it easier for them to come across. When Trump went through all what he went through to keep them at bay. And I told y'all before, I know people who work on the border patrol. And they said that when Trump was in office, they didn't have these problems. They said to me the Remain in Mexico policy was the best policy ever for our border patrol. And he said that the moment Biden got in office, they said it became a free for all. And based on the executive orders that we looked at, that makes sense. But how does all this benefit Black Americans? How? Black Americans work jobs. You work black jobs, right? And these same individuals are coming there and mess with you at your black job. If you worked at the jewelry store, they'll be robbing you and threatening your life. I told y'all a long time ago, you never allow a bunch of young men to have free time to roam. You got to put young men to work. You got to work them 12 hours a day. So the only thing they do is get off of work, go they behind to home, they go on a shower, they go on food, and they get they behind right back up the next day and get they behind out to work for 12 hours. Preferably working outside. That's the only way you can have a bunch of young men running around. There was always a recipe for disaster. I remember when I was watching in New York, all these military-age males running around Times Square. I'm like, y'all don't see the problem in that? But this is also the problem. The police departments can't touch them. Now this is the racism part that I want to talk about. How is it that a black person jaywalk and you got about 10 cops on them, but these military-age males are doing all kind of robberies, they taking the life of people, they doing all kind of things, and they handling them with kid gloves? Where's all these RICO charges? Where's all the raids? Where's all that at? If all of them were black men doing this mess, they would have had new laws already drafted already. Think about it. If that video you just saw was a bunch of black men, if a bunch of black men in Aurora, Colorado, a gang, if it was the GDs or Vice Lords or whatever, if they took over an apartment, think about it. If they took over an apartment, Biden would have been, Biden would have had the National Guard coming in and get them out of there. The FBI, everybody would have been there to get them. U.S. Marshals, they would have been all off the streets. The people in Aurora saying these gang members, they walk around with guns and you can see them walking around. Let some gang members just visibly walk around with guns somewhere patrolling a place. Man, come on now, man. And that's what I'm talking about. They could come here and be criminals, and the Democrats are like, well, my hands kind of tied. We got to investigate. I want y'all to see that, black people. So that's right for them to go do things that you can't do. And I'm not advocating for black people to do criminality, but I'm saying if they gonna go do smash and grabs and nothing happen to them, well, Pookie and Ray Ray and them go do it, leave them alone. Let them get $2 million worth of jewelry then. Let Pookie and Ray Ray go take over apartment complexes then. If you know what I'm saying? Think about it. That video y'all saw, if there was a bunch of black men doing the exact same thing, no different, I'm telling you, you'd have had every law enforcement agency in the state would have been down there. Homeland Security, FBI, everybody would have been there to go get them black men. Everybody them black men knew if they called you on the cell phone, you getting raided. If they were texting you, telling you what they were doing, you getting raided. William, that's a good question. William says, where's all them 2A people be at that be attacking us? That's another thing. You see them 2A people walking around here talking about, yeah, you come with tread on me and all that mess. Where y'all at? I hear y'all complaining, but where's all that at? I'm just saying, because when it's black people, y'all ready to get bad. Y'all pull out every weapon they can on black people. They're complaining, I'm talking about the folks, complaining about the migrant crisis, and they see all the billions of dollars being spent, but let me and you talk about, you know what? Well, shoot, man, since you're spending all that money, let's go ahead on and just allocate $100 billion for reparations till we get to about at least, 2-3 trillion at least, right? For black Americans. You spend less giving reparations than this migrant crisis that they created. Oh, no, you don't deserve no reparations. And the migrants deserve all that money? They deserve it. They pay no taxes. They don't do nothing but hang around. They doing home invasions. They getting Amazon uniforms and kicking in doors. Pookie and Ray Ray's not even doing some of this stuff. Come on now. And the gang got a green light on the police in Denver. What black gang you hear running around here talking about putting green lights on police officers anywhere in this country? Where you hear that at? And even if they got a word that a black gang says something like that, every last one of them going to federal prison. Every last one of them. Everybody getting a RICO. They mama, they grandmama, they girlfriend, even the baby she pregnant with, they getting a RICO too. Well, yeah, Biden did say you better get used to it. Because look at the executive orders he did. Well, on day one, that was already his head to do. So yeah. Let's kick this up here. But you Democrat shills, explain to me why we should accept this, and explain to me why we should go vote for Vice President Kamala Harris. Just give me a logical explanation. Because I don't see one with the actions of what they've been doing, and we're not even talking about the economy, because that's even worse. But let's cue this last little bit up.
Green suburb of Aurora, Colorado. That's according to a new exclusive from the New York Post. The town of Aurora is now grappling with the arrival of a notorious Venezuelan prison gang, leading to a surge in violent crime. It's become a hub for the brutal Tren de Aragua gang, according to local law enforcement sources who spoke with the Post. This criminal organization has taken over multiple apartment complexes and is wreaking havoc in the community. Since December of 2022, Denver, often described as an immigration sanctuary city, has seen more than 40,000 migrants arrive from the southern border, making it a leading city in migrant arrivals per capita. The city has gone to great lengths to provide aid, even cutting back on emergency services to manage the costs, which have already exceeded $68 million. However, Aurora is not embracing this influx of migrants. In February, the Aurora City Council passed a resolution explicitly stating that it would not offer resources or support to migrants coming from neighboring cities like Denver. Despite this, Denver's migrant policies have still led to a spillover into Aurora, bringing with them the dangers associated with Tren de Aragua.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, yes, it's a prison gang. The gang that's here now is a prison gang because they let them out of their prisons. They open up their mental institutions too and just tell them, hey, come on, go to the United States, get on out of here. And Venezuela is not, their crime is low now because they didn't got rid of all their criminals. But yes, one person said that if it was us, the dog would get a RICO charge. Yeah, the dog would get a RICO. That's true. The dog would have had a RICO. And James Smith is right. If five brothers stand on the corner, it's a problem. You know what I'm saying? But they can run around doing whatever they want to do around here. Well, Alonzo, the mainstream, let me tell you about the mainstream, Alonzo. They're not going to have me on. The only people that's willing to have me on, and I appreciate them for it, is African TV. You know, I can go on African TV, and they allowed me to cook and everything else on African TV, and I appreciate it. You know, that's why I tell people I get more love over there than I get even in my own country. I don't get no love in my own country, and that's fine. I don't have to get no love. But, you know, I'm a firm believer, go where the love at. So, yeah, I'm always going to be appreciative to African nations and African television stations for allowing me to come on and say my piece. It's actually easier to get on TV over there than it is here, right? It's a cartel here. You got to understand, the TV stuff and all that with these folks is literally a cartel. And I'm just not gonna fool. You know, like I said, if you invite me to come and it's a you know, contributor type of thing, that's fine. I'll say my piece, but they don't want to hear what I gotta say. No, Lord, you know, that's just bottom line. But well, you know, at least I have my own show. You on it right now. I have my own app. You know, if you don't have it, get on it. So I have my own. It's cool. You know, what's the point of being on their stuff? What all they can do is edit you out, shut you up, and do whatever else. They're not gonna let me cook like this. Not on their platform. Well, you know, William, you say nothing happens without permission. Well, William, we know that. We know the Democrats are working on doing this because they're trying to neutralize the black vote. That's for one. They're trying to neutralize. Thank you, Michelle. They're trying to neutralize the black vote, but all this is going to backfire on them in the end. I'm telling you, it's going to backfire on them because all the Latinos they're bringing in here, they vote Republican. They don't vote Democrat. So Democrats are actually bringing in their own political demise when they think they're trying to do us harm. They're actually going to vote for their own political demise. And when it happens, I'm going to laugh. When it happens, I'm going to laugh. Because Latinos do not, we talking about the average Latino, they do not support the policies of the Democrat Party, especially the LGBT policies and abortion policies. That's like a no-no for a lot of them because the majority of them are Catholic. We're not talking about those criminals. We're talking about that a lot of the average Latinos in Latin America, they're Catholic. They don't get down with abortion. They don't get down with LGBT like that. A lot of your African immigrants coming here, a lot of them vote Republican because a lot of them are either Christian or Muslim, and they can't get down with the Democrat Party. Now, their kids may do that because they socialized into the wickedness that's in America. But think about it. If you are truly a Christian and you following the 10 Commandments, at least the 10 Commandments, we're not going to go no further than the 10 Commandments. How can you support the Democrats talking about unaliving children in the womb when it say thou shalt not kill? How can you support that? And to me, doing something like that, it doesn't make even sense to do that. You got plan B. You know good and well if a dude did what he did, you can go get you a plan B or have you a couple of plan Bs around you. I know dudes that would carry plan B with them. Oh, shoot, man, here, take the plan B. You got 30 forms of birth control, including abstinence. There's no excuse to go that far. There's no excuse. Then we talk about different, the Bible or the Quran or whatever. That doesn't support LGBT. So how can you be a Democrat? You can't even say the economic policies would draw you to the Democrat Party. Can't say that because Kamala Harris wants to raise taxes by $5 trillion. Are you crazy? I'm already paying enough as it is with just trying to live everyday life. And you trying to take the little bit I have? No. But how does all this benefit Black America? Or even America in general? But how does this benefit Black America? How? I don't get it. And I just don't have no respect for somebody that say they're only going to vote for her because she's a Black woman. I mean, well, she's not definitely one of us, but I don't see how somebody say that. That's all you saying about her. Well, I want a Black woman. I don't like Trump. Yeah, and see where they got you last time? You voted for Biden. You didn't like Trump. And look, we worse off now than what it was when he was in office. That's annoying. I just had something come across my desk here, so I'm just checking it out real quick. But anyway, they, you know what? Don't let them people stress y'all out because they say you want working citizens stressed out. Don't let them stress you out. You know, you just gotta. I always say this: make plans for her to be the president. Make plans for Trump to be the president. Either one of them gonna be the president. So you need to be prepared for both. Don't be hoping on one. You know, because you got to live your life, right? All these silly people talking about Trump. Oh, Trump this. Listen, we went through 4 years of Trump. He didn't do no legislation to hurt black Americans. He didn't. But look at what's happening with Biden. On top of the immigration, he did the Asian hate crime bill. Didn't do nothing for black people. Matter of fact, that same Biden administration, and man, we probably gonna have to do a live stream on that, about that anti-black American propaganda they waged against black Americans leading up to the signing of that bill. Because y'all forgot, it was the left-wing media that led that charge. It wasn't even Fox, Newsmax, or any of the other places. Yeah, Jane. God bless the child that got his own. It's talking about AKA. Man, I don't care about no AKA. I mean, that to me, I look at that no different than any other club. You know, okay, you got your little club, you paid your dues, you did all your whatever you did to get in there, right? I mean, what does the AKA mean to me? It doesn't mean nothing to me. What does the AKAs do to benefit black America? What does the Divine Nine do to benefit black America? I'm talking about as a whole. What do they do? I mean, if they do something to benefit black America and point it out to me, and then I'll come back and say, oh, man, they doing this, they doing that. I'll see it. Alonzo, you say you're stressed? Okay. All right. Well, just don't try to stress yourself too much because you'll put yourself in the hospital. You know, you can't let these people drive you crazy. You know, I just said this much. You know, you put Harris in here, man. I tell my wife all the time. I was enjoying myself in South Africa when I can go to the store and go spend $15 and get me a decent meal. I'm talking about in the grocery store. I'm not talking about I'm talking about something to make. I mean, I can't go in the store and spend $15 no more. Or going to McDonald's and spending about $3 for a combo. Can't do that no more over here. And she put in the taxes. Y'all, fast food now is costing people $15, $20 for fast food. That's why a lot of people don't go there no more. And the food is trash. Mama Deb, you better have your plan B. You say, hey, if she win, then I'm going to do this. If Trump do this, I'm going to do that. Because I believe personally, if she win, black America, you finish. You are not going to be the same after her 4 years. When she, if she get 8, then she really finish you off. But after her 4 years, Kevin, I hear people say that all the time, and I'm going to repeat the same thing I said to everybody else. It may not be another one. I don't know why y'all keep saying the next one. It may not be another one. Because, I've said this before, and I say it again, my day and time, from one day to another may not be, being here. I'll never tell nobody the day, the hour, the minute I make anything, but when I do it, I say, hey, look, I'm doing this, because man, it's just too expensive. I just watched a video today with these two people, Americans, and they've been living out the country for about 12 years. And they're like, man, I never go back there. And they were talking about how much they're paying rent, how much they're paying medical, how they don't need a car because everywhere they go is walkable. And they say they live like in 30 countries in the past 12 years. And, they travel to certain countries for their medical. I think they say they went to Bangkok, Thailand to get basically that executive physical, like the ones that's thousands of dollars here. They say they only pay like $250 for it. People enjoying their best life, sometimes. So, yeah. America is a lot. And America keeps a lot of division going among the population too. It's like they thrive on chaos and division. People shouldn't have to be divided this much. They really shouldn't. But it's like these politicians, in my opinion, the politicians keep up a lot of division in this country, a lot. And all these politicians are mega rich. None of them are poor. And it's just amazing how they try to say, I'm going to be for the middle class and the poor. And I'm like, how you don't even live with the middle class or poor. What are you talking about? We're going to tax the rich. You're not going to tax yourself. Stop lying. You're going to tax the middle class and the poor. Because every time y'all do something like that, the middle class and the poor get it. One way or another. Even if you try to so-called put a tax on the rich and the big corporations just take that extra tax you put on them and raise prices. And now the middle class and the poor is paying that tax raise that you put on the rich. You ain't figured that out yet? They're not going to pay. They're going to make the consumer pay. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us on the stream tonight. We greatly appreciate it. Make sure you click the subscribe button. Make sure you click the like button. That's also very, very important to do so. We'll be back here tomorrow, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time for Sound Off Friday. That's a show where people can call in, and we'll try to get people in as we can. Any Democrat shills that like to come in and speak, hey, let me know. And we love to talk with the Democrat shills because you guys, I don't know. But thank y'all for listening. Say they on CNN talking right now.